Welcome back, everyone. Okay, let's get these sections all lit up. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these vents here in place here, and then get these in their spots here on either engine. Alright, now just got to put those in place. Alright, now the next step is to get this section here all in place. Okay, so I painted these up. They're little grooves there. You just put the chrome silver in the groove, and I also did the painting on the inside as well. These are the things that rotate inside the facades in the front, so with that you can actually see it rotating. If you don't paint it, you can sort of kind of see it, but whatever. Before you do all that, make sure you frost this. I just use a dull coat. I spray 2 coats on the outside, 2 coats on the inside on all of these, and it turned out really good. Now another thing you can do to get that same effect is you can use this kind of tape that you use on like furnace, around the furnace or whatever piping, is you just cut small little strips and put them inside the grooves there. That is if you don't want to paint it, and you'll get the same effect. Alright, now we come to a fun part here. We got these parts here where these get put into here. And just randomizing them. So I got different colored ones here to give the different glow effect. And then you got the lighting here. And everything gets put into this here, which gets put inside the engine. And of course, the motors that do the turning. Okay, let's get this put together. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. Don't really need to glue them because they're in pretty tight. Green one here. this side. And this one goes on this side. I gotta line these up with the holes first, because these have to fit right inside like that. You should not have to use any glue. And then these just pop into place. Like that. And then we got this. So this is the only thing that's turning. Not the interior, just this. And then this over top, once we get the warp engines together. I've got to keep the wire out of the way for the motor here. So I need one thing I think I should do. Well, it seems pretty loose. If it feels tight in there, it shouldn't. Now this motor should fit right in. There we go. It's right inside there. And then this fits right over top. Oops. Okay, just a sec here. You don't want to push on it. Just need to check here. Okay, might need a little bit of glue in there to make sure it stays adhered to the motor. And there we go. So we got these 3 wires sticking out here. This one goes to this cable, cable K, and then the motor here goes to the light here. Those go in there. And it's also labeled as to what side this goes. This one is on the right side, or the starboard engine. Okay, so I got it hooked up here. So let's just do a light test here. Let's see what it looks like here right now. Looks really good. Okay. Something's not working here. An LED is not lighting up. It's an easy fix. I just have to replace that 3mm LED. They're all just, okay, they're warm white. I got one here somewhere. Or I'll just use one of the other ones that I'm not using. LED 4. This one is not working for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to check this one here. Okay, so this goes to this. I need to do a check here. Yes, this is kind of messed up. Make sure this one's working. See, this one's working fine. Okay, for some reason, why is this motor so much faster than this one? Okay, I have to do some experimenting and figure out what's going on. Okay, after doing some research on reducing the speed of the motor, I had to install a voltage regulator to slow this motor down because it was going like almost 3 times as fast as this one. So now, when you turn them on, they're both virtually going the same speed now. Because I put the voltage regulator on there because if you put it on past there, it would take too much voltage away from the spinners here. So, and they wouldn't light up at all, or if they did, they'd just be on. They wouldn't do anything. So, now that this is set, it's not even hot. Good. This is ready to be put together now. And another thing, as you go to put this on here, if this remains hollow, the sound of the motor causing the vibration will just reverberate through there and make a huge noise. So, I got some foam. I'm going to cut into small strips to put inside the engines, and that will absorb any audio or sound coming from the motors, reducing the sound of those even more. On top of that, instead of just using regular glue for putting these in place, use silicone, and it will reduce the vibration of the plastic parts caused by the motor. Another thing you can do is put a small amount of foam or something around the motor itself. You don't have to worry about heat because there's no vents or anything for it to disperse, so there's no indication of it overheating. You have to drill the hole out here to accommodate for the foam or whatever it is you got around the motor, because the vibration here on the metal to plastic would cause a bit of a noise as well. Personally, I'm not going to worry about that part. I'm satisfied with how snug it is, and it's not really going to cause much. But I'm going to put the foam inside to reduce the noise being made by the motors. I think that's all that really need to do for modifications. Now, sometimes if you put these in, there's a bit of a wobble in as it's spinning. One way you can fix that issue is to take your drill, put the cap on there, take this, and just go like this. better now. Because that way it won't be rubbing on the plastic in here, on the edges here, and causing more noise. Don't want it too tight because you don't want to break the plastic there. Ah, that one's dead on. Okay. Okay, with a little bit more tinkering around, I got a 180 ohm and a 100 ohm resistor on there, as well as this. So I got them almost synced up now. I can't get it any better. I tried a 360 ohm on there, but the motor won't work with only 360. So once I get everything all together, I'm gonna do another light test with all the other lights on the ship here. Just got to make sure there's still enough voltage going to the motor to make it turn. I might have to get rid of one of those resistors, so I just got to do a test. I got these slats installed there now. Looking good. Now for the aft of the warp engine here, and just put the cap on there so I can find out where I need to put the LED to light up the ball here. So probably right about here, and then just pointing that way. Okay, I need to make these pins longer. They're too short. There we go. I got a 1K resistor on it. So it just comes on here like that. Just like that. Looks good. Okay, so when these go on here, everything there, okay. Now, this here was supposed to be for lights to go along the engine. So what I'm going to do for here is I'm just going to solder red and black wires on here that go to the light at the other end of the warp engine. Basically, that's all that's for, is just lighting up the LEDs on the side. So that'll light up the very end down there. So that's all I'm going to do for that. I just hot glued the connector there in place. So there we go, it's ready to go. There you go, all hooked up there. There we go, got the foam in there. It's good. Now if you got if you're lighting up the warp engines, you would just leave this off and then just push the foam inside. But since I'm doing it this way, I gotta do it this way. So looks pretty good. Alright, warp engines are all but done. Just gotta let that set. In the meantime, we can move on to the engineering hull. Okay, before we get on with the main, well, the secondary hull, I had to do some final painting on the neck here. You can see on the neck here, it's got that turquoise color going up there. So that's what I did there. And it's sort of, it's stronger here and sort of feathers and gets lighter as it goes back. So the way I did that, I sprayed stronger coat there and just sort of angled the spray up on an angle so it feathers it out. Looks pretty good. Okay, so let's get the neck here lit up. Not bad. Looks really good. Woohoo! Okay, so I got my light strips here. So light strip goes here where this little square is. And you got another one here. Thinking though, to make this thing light up properly, let's see, I need a light strip here, down here on both sides. They'll fit perfectly down here. I'm thinking I need a, be nice to have one here. This will have to go a bit on an angle so it doesn't cover up the windows. I'll have to put the plastic windows in there first. Like one on an angle along here, and get another one up in here on both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to use these ones here for the engineering hull, these bigger lights. Okay. Okay, so I got them all tied in together there, all the way down to the all three of these on both sides. So this is going to be a one well lit neck. Okay, so the neck is pretty much all done. Alright, so I got all the LEDs in there. Looks good. Okay, now when you're putting this in here, it's going to be a little bit tougher. It's only you can go in so far, and you can only put so many lights in here. It's going to be pretty tough, but it can be done. Alright, now for the areas back here, it's going to be a pretty tight squeeze. So I'm going to be using these little things to light up the windows there, and along here, and along the top here for the ceiling. So the lights on these things here, they got to go, since they're warm white, and replace them with these. I'm going to have a big one on the back here, obviously, because there's more than enough room for it. And a teeny tiny one's going to go up here for the observation deck. Okay, that's the way it's going to work. Alright, so I got one of these little lights in there to light up that. So I'm going to get a series of small lights in here on both sides. Now for here, when it goes in, you can see there's not a whole lot of room, wiggle room there for lighting along the top here. So I'm going to have some lights here on the very back half here. Might be enough for him to get a couple of these lights to light up these windows back here, but nothing for there, unfortunately. Okay, let's get that done. Alrighty, lefty then. Damn, have I got a lot of lights in there. Yes, I do. So I got 4 along there, 4 along there. These 2 big ones shining this way along the top. I got one pointing forward there, one pointing to the top there to light the dome that goes there. I still got to get something to light these areas here up. Probably just a small little flat one pointing this way at this area. It won't be very bright, but it'll shine a little bit, which is all I really need. So I got this here, which lights back up there. These big long lines, I'm just going to cut those short, tie them all in together, and then I'm going to have a 1.2K resistor running all of these. So maybe a 1.2K for these lines, another 1.2 for these separate ones here, which is probably what I'll do, yeah. And then I can tie them into this line here that I took these other bulbs off of, because they were the warm white and these are the cool white. So there we go, looks not too bad. And that's just a 9-volt battery, so just making sure all the lighting works there. Looks good. Not bad. Okay. Now just checking these ones. Looks pretty good. Not bad. Okay, so I got a light under there as well to light up these lower windows underneath. Now we got these here, which are flashers that go in these little spots on either side. So these are the warm whites. I got to replace those with the cool whites. Okay, just got to take the heat shrink off. Replace them with these. Just gotta trim these back just a little bit. I cut them on an angle so I still know which side is the positive and negative. And then just resolder them on there, and those lines are ready to go. And there we go. Got the proper colored lights in there now. Now we can install them. Alright, now to make room for the lights from the hangar bay, I had to cut off a good portion of this section here on both sides to make room for all the lights here on the back. So, and it fits pretty good right now. There we go. Fits nice. Really good. Nice. Woohoo! Okay, so I modified the cable here, so these two lines go to there and down there. I don't think I need a resistor because it's already built into the board there, and these lights are being hooked up directly to the board, so I don't think I need a resistor for that. Okay, so I put a little light right there to light that section. Alright, I got these hooked up to the board now. Yeah, I did not need a resistor, that's good. Not bad at all. It's pretty good. Okay, so those are pretty much done. The only other thing I can do is just connect all these together. But other than that, I'm going to work on the pylons here. I'm going to get these lit. Now, these structures here go right up against the windows here. So I marked out where I need to trim it down to put some lighting. So I'm going to trim those down now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is for these two windows up here, I'm going to have a light like in between them. I don't want them pointing directly at the windows because I don't want them overly bright. And the same with this over here. So, and I'm going to use these little things. Okay, so I got that all the way down. Looks good. And this goes on. Let's do a quick light test just to see how it's going to work. I'm just going to use a 9-volt battery for this test. I don't think it's not bad. Looks good. Okay. Now for these particular windows, I'm going to put that rice paper stuff over it because you can see the wires through the windows. I don't need very much, just enough to cover it. Okay, I used different stuff on there, so now you won't be able to see any wires now. How about that? Woohoo! Magic. Now moving over to here, I'm going to light up the backs of those. So I got two 5mm LEDs together. I flattened them out, and they're going to shine through the plastic to light up the ends there. Nice. There we go. That's good. All tied together though. Not bad. I'd say this thing is pretty much all wired up. Well, everyone, that is it for this episode. In the next one, we are going to start doing some assembly. Please like, subscribe, comment, don't forget to share, and click that notification bell for any future uploads. If you have any questions or you want me to do commission work for you, contact me at epyc.models@gmail.com. See you all again later. Bye-bye.